Hey everybody, thank you for coming to my channel, D versus Debt. This is D, and I am a college teacher turned college student for a year. So I am on sabbatical during this academic year, and I'll be working on my graduate certificate, which means I'm living the broke college student life. Because of that, I need to really tighten up my budget, and so that's why I'm here with a revamp of my channel and a revamp of my budget. So in order to get myself excited about being strict again with my cash envelopes, I went ahead and I shopped my stash. I dug around and found what I could create a new cash envelope wallet for. And so this is what I have. This is a Filofax that I had purchased for a great deal at a planner meetup in Tucson. And so Kimberly, if you're watching, hey, thank you. This is what I bought from you. So I thought this was great because it doesn't scream wallet. In other words, it doesn't scream like, hey, steal me, I'm full of money. It just looks like, you know, some sort of office supply. So it's really cool. I think it's just so pretty, and I love the fact that you can wipe off, you know, if you spill something on it, the liquid will run right off, and then you can wipe it off. So I try to make it cutesy by putting in some jangly things, you know, that just kind of makes me happy. But some of the envelopes today are pre-stuffed, and some I'm going to go ahead and stuff now. So I'm going to take out my cash from the little pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and set up my wallet. So I went on Amazon, and it was a smoking deal. There were 12 of these clear envelopes with the little zipper thing at the top. It was only $5, and they did come with these stickers. It's, I think, about 5 sheets of these stickers with letters that you can put, you know, the categories. But I had my Cricut sitting around collecting dust. I figured I'd just make something cute. I happen to have vinyl that matched the color of this wallet, so I made my labels for my categories. I'm really trying to trim it down to just a few categories to keep things simple, but also because I'm not going to be stuffing very much money, again, on a tight budget, so I'm having to be pretty conscious of all of that stuff. So the very first category, a lot of people are doing the $1 challenge, where they save all their $1 and set them aside. For me, I'm kind of doing a spin on that. There's an exercise class that I like to go to, and she only charges $2.50. She was charging $2 for the longest time, and, you know, inflation, she went up 50 cents. So anytime I happen to come across a $1 bill, I'm going to stuff it into the exercise wallet, and hopefully this will motivate me to actually show up to exercise class. I have been walking around the high school track, and that's great because I can walk at whatever time I want to, as long as school's not in session. It's free, it's convenient. There's a muscly guy that shows up, and I like to watch him while I'm walking, so it's great. However, the exercise class I really do need to go to because she does strength training and all kinds of other stuff. So for now, I pre-stuffed it with some money that I already had on hand. So today's stuffing is going to be a little bit more than usual. I'm going to be doing Money Mondays, and I'll be stuffing $100 into my envelopes, but this time there just happens to be a little bit more. So my exercise envelope right now has $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7. So almost enough for 3 classes. Again, I haven't been going to class, and I'm hoping that this will motivate me to start showing up again. We shall see if that actually works. So all my ones will go into here. Then I have my challenge envelope, and so I came up with this ridiculously goofy idea. I'm going to make its own separate video. But basically, I'm using a little bingo wheel, the little spinner things, and it spits out a number, any number between 1 through 90, or 1 through 75, depending on the type of bingo. And that's how much I have to stuff into my envelope each week into the challenge. This week, I will show you the footage. It landed on the number 23. So I already have it stuffed because there's 20, 1, 2, 3. Because my mother's a sweetheart, my parents are sweethearts, and surprised me with money. I feel like a little kid. So I just finished my first class in my graduate certificate program, and I got an A++. I actually got more than 100% in the class. And so I was bragging about it, and she surprised me with money. And I thought that was so sweet. Again, I felt like a little kid, like, good job, kiddo, here's your money. So I spread that money around in the cash envelopes this time. And so that's why I was already able to stuff my challenge money for this week. It came from that present. So I have these little sheets that I laminated, and they're laminated with a 5 milliliter or millimeter, I can't remember, but the super thick laminate sheets. So that makes it extra sturdy. It'll take a lot of abuse as I'm, flipping things around. So I'm going to use basically a permanent marker to write here and track, as I'm filling in my envelopes or taking things out. And this way I don't have to, burn through a lot of paper. When I'm done with it, when it's filled out, I can just spray it with rubbing alcohol and wipe it off, and I can start clean again. So that's what I'm doing here. I don't think every envelope is going to have one. So for example, my exercise one, I don't think it's going to have a little tracker to go with it. The challenge one I think will be good to have a tracker for, but again, not every single one will. So giving, this envelope is for, let's say, there's a homeless person or somebody's doing a fundraiser, things like that. I want to have a set of money to, be able to purchase things from. So, especially now that we're getting into the fall season, that's when usually fundraisers really bump up. You see a lot more people fundraising. So, for this week, I'm going to do 20. However, it'll be rotating. Not every week I'm going to be stuffing every single envelope. But for this week, 20 is going to go into here. So there is my giving envelope. And the next envelope is cheat day. So I am on a anti-inflammatory diet for health reasons. So one day a week I allow myself to eat, the food that I've been missing because there's so many things I can't eat. So I've been doing it on Saturday because I've been calling it my fatter day because I just go nuts. I just eat, whatever I've been missing, and then the rest of the week I'm super strict with what I eat. So for cheat days, I'm going to be giving myself 20 every week, and there's a reason for that. This is to kind of keep me in check. I don't want to go too crazy with my cheat meal and buy like $50 worth of food. 20 is good. It should be plenty to indulge in a really yummy cheat meal, or if I want to go out for drinks with a friend or something like that. So it's gonna, help me cheat, but also help me keep it in check by limiting it to $20 a week. The next envelope is basically my self-care envelope. So I call it my treat yourself envelope. So this is where I'll splurge and buy something silly. So for example, right now I'm really into candles. In fact, I have one going right here, and I'm kind of worried that I'm going to light my envelopes on fire. But, it just makes me feel good to buy a candle or, something silly like that. So I'll be putting $20 into it this week. But again, not every week will it get stuffed because I'll be working with $100 a week, but I have more than, 5 envelopes. Like let's say there's 5 envelopes and they get $20 each week. This happens to be more than that, so some envelopes won't get money every week. However, the handyman one most likely will get stuffed every week. There is a gentleman that lives down the street from me that helps me with my house. I live in an old house and something's always breaking, and right now we're in the middle of monsoons, so my yard turns into a jungle like every 3 days. So he comes around and helps, clean the yard up, fix things like recently, like my toilet that's constantly breaking, just things like that. So because there's always something that needs to be fixed, I'm going to be putting 40 into this envelope. So chances are likely that this will be one of the only envelopes that gets stuffed every week. We shall see. I have an envelope called Thrifty. it's not thrifty store. I used to go to one when I was a kid, and they used to have this amazing ice cream bar, and they had rainbow sherbet that was so good. But what I meant by this is like thrift stores. The local thrift store here, if you buy less than $5 worth of stuff, it has to be in cash. You can't put it on a card. So, you know, if I buy something at a thrift store, or if I go to a yard sale, you know, things like that, where I'm, you know, being cheap and buying like used stuff or whatever, I'm going to pay for it with cash, then the money would go here. So this time I'm not stuffing it for this week. And if you'll notice at the end of my wallet, there's an empty one that I didn't label, but I did put $20 in here to be safe. I always like to have like an emergency 20 just hiding in the back, which is what this is. But this envelope is basically what I consider my oops envelope. Like maybe I forgot, you know, to plan for an expense that came up, and like, oops, well, here, you know, I'll take it out of here. So this is kind of like my little emergency envelope, you know, because you just never know what's going to happen. So that is my wallet. I hope you enjoyed my first official stuffing with my new wallet and my new system. So again, every Monday I'm going to be doing a Money Monday video where I stuff my envelopes, and I'm hoping that you guys can keep me motivated to stay on track so that I don't blow my budget. I really have to be strict with how much money I'm spending because, again, I'm not working this year, and so I really have to be mindful of my spending. So these categories that I'm focusing on are the ones that are, you know, going to be, I need to keep a close eye on, basically. So thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me on my journey. See you next time.